Hey guys, quick little intro before we start the episode. Sort of an explanation for why we didn't put out an episode last week. I was on vacation in Seattle, and Helene was busy starting school, so both of our editors weren't available. So we had to delay the episode until now. What you'll be getting is the recording from last week that we had with Emma McAllister, and then the recording from this week. And they'll be sort of combined. Sorry for the delay. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Enjoy the episode.
What's going on, Action Army?
What's happening, guys? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the official Action Army show.
Welcome to the most important hour of your life this week. If you're not watching this show, you're probably a Jackass or a Lions Den fan.
Yeah, guys, it's basically a fucking call to action. Just kidding. It's exactly what it is, okay? This is the intro to Call to Action. The single most important piece of content you're going to ingest in the next 7 minutes.
If you love Action Army and you love Ben and Drew, then this is the place to be. And if you don't love us, well, then fuck you.
Go buy a suit, get it fitted, get the pants tailored to the length that's just right, the break of your pants looks fantastic, get a bottle of Jameson, and get on fucking board. Peace out.
Come to you from the Action Army podcast. I'm here today with Alexa,
Oh, hi, guys.
and we actually have someone new on board today. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from.
Well, hello everyone. I am Emma McAllister. Some of you know me as Dollface, but we'll leave Dollface in the mental asylum tonight. I'll just be my lovely Action Army self. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and I think a lot of you know me. I've been a vocal supporter of our boys in action for the better part of a year now, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. We're glad to have you here too, Emma. So, we're gonna talk about the matches of this week. The first one we're gonna talk about is Only Stupid Answers versus Scream Queens. Do you want to start us off, Emma, on your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. This is one of those matches where I will have to admit I wasn't super invested in the match. Like I think both teams maybe have potential to go somewhere in the league, but right now I don't really find either of them that engaging, other than just being good for a bit of a laugh with only stupid answers. But so it was kind of in my mind and out of my mind pretty quickly. But
Yeah, and also we can talk about the Scream Queens. They came into the match 1-0, and
Yeah.
Only Stupid was 1-1. Yeah, I guess I could kind of agree with you. The same thing. I wasn't really invested. I mean, I like Sam. Sam is my friend. I like him as a fun team. But Haley, I know, she kind of impressed me in this match. I'll be honest, like the first time we saw them against the Garden Hosers, I didn't really think too much of them. I thought both of those teams were going to be a one-off.
yeah,
But it's cool to see that we can kind of get Haley, and we will be talking about her later as a competitor as part of the Anarchy teams. So we'll get a chance to see more than her. We got a little bit of her when we saw her at the free-for-all, but not enough. And then they went, I believe, with Nicole Kidman movies in the second round. So it was interesting. And
and that's a strategy I think maybe we'll start to see more people take in the future, because it's much easier to study an actor or a director than it is to study a whole genre, right? So you might see that more often. But one thought I have now, they're 2-0. They seem to have a bit of momentum. In my mind, I would want to put them up against a real opponent, maybe someone like Bulldog. But now with Arity happening, will that even be possible?
Yeah, that's another thing you bring up. Maybe because as of now, maybe with scheduling, maybe the Modoc and stuff are not available. But
Hmm.
this might be a chance for them to develop a fan base. At least with Haley, and we can kind of see where they are. But I like that idea of playing with the Modoc. I would love to see them. I would love to just see more of them, to be honest. Or even like
Hmm.
if Team Trek is still around, like have them come back. But
Hmm. It's
um,
just with third hosers and only stupid answers, that 2-0 record is it's really not impressive to me. I would have to see them go up against a more experienced team for me to really believe that they're real.
yeah, I agree with you in that point. Um, what I also think is that they said that they want to go against the Wildberries. I mean, again, seems like that's like they could probably go against a little bit of a team where we can say, all right, they're contenders in the league.
Yeah,
Maybe top that or something as well. It's just something that I threw out there.
yeah.
What are your thoughts about Own Stupid Answers? Do you think they're still going to be a team that we'll be seeing again, or do you think they're kind of be like the fan favorites, but they're kind of going to just fade away? Will we see
Yeah,
maybe like a DJ or something like that in the singles?
maybe. I think there is value in having like bottom feeder teams and bottom feeder contenders, right? Like
Mhm.
not everyone can be in the upper echelons, so I don't think there's anything wrong with having them in the league.
Awesome. Ix, would you like to respond to anything about the match?
For stupid answers and scream queens.
Yep.
Okay. Unlike some other teams, I feel like scream queens are like actually earning their path to the belts, and I'm really excited to see like where they're gonna go next. And I think they're really awesome competitors. And like, not to take anything away from only stupid answers, because they're really good too. I think scream queens are really underrated because they're entertaining. They're so nice. They're so interesting, and I'm really excited to see where they're gonna go next.
So this is something we just kind of brought up earlier. Who do you think would be a, a good team for them to match up as their third? Because we were talking about how their first matchup was against the Garden Hosers, which is basically a one-off team, and now they have the Only Stupid Answers, which we love Sam and DJ, but in terms of general movie knowledge, they probably don't know as much as they would maybe in Geekdom. So where would you like to see them going forward as maybe another team that they could play against?
I actually think a team like Team Action or who else? That's interesting. Uh like a Viper Squad team, like maybe Stacy and Janine and Markia. Like a team that knows stuff but it's also like has a big personality, because like with Garden Hosers they knew stuff but and their personality was big, but it was kind of like they're both teams were like shy and timid, and I feel like if they both had their first matches with like a team with a bigger personality, they would have brought them out of their shell more, and I think that's what we need to see with the Scream Queen. So like they have to, I was gonna say fight, they have to play against a team with like a really big personality and a lot of knowledge.
All right. I'm agree with you guys there. Should we go on to the next matchup? Probably one of the biggest ones of the week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So while this was a Patreon exclusive from earlier, this week we got to see the number one contender, the Shire Wolves versus World's Finest. Alex, do you want to get us started with it?
Oh, okay. Talk about easiest path to the belt. I don't really have anything much to say except that it was a very underwhelming match. I feel like we all knew who was gonna win, not based on skill, but based on like where they want the storyline to go, which is first female champions. Like we all knew who was gonna win. They're like just like with team action, like despite how good you are at the movie trivia showdown, they want the storyline to go a certain way, and that's the way it was always gonna go. And we all like collectively, I feel like we all agreed in the AA chat that it just World's Finest just wasn't like the right team to to get like a number one contender title match against, especially with Above the Line retiring. And in the post interview, I don't like how Emma said, "Oh, basically our only competition was Above the Line, and now that they're gone, they're already winners." So basically, what she's saying is that the Shire Wolves don't deserve the belts, and the only reason they're getting it is because the better team retired. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
kind of
angry.
like. Yeah, I heard that too, and I was like, you kind of just speak against your own team, like in terms of skill. That they just said like, oh, it's basically would have been possible to be above the line. So now that the only team that you has kind of a chance is gone, and I mean, World's Finest, they did put up a pretty good fight, but I'm with you. I didn't really expect any kind of upset or anything like that. I'm just
Mhm.
more shocked that they didn't get TK'd out or anything.
Well, it's
But
kind of a flaw in the ranking system, right? Like World's Finest and Shire Wolves with who they beat previously, that put them up against each other, and that was the path to the belt for both of them.
mm,
Yeah.
Obviously, there was no way in hell that World's Finest was gonna win that, but at the same time, you never know. Um, Stranger things can happen. Um, Everyone told us that there was no way in hell Andrew was gonna beat Damu, but he did. So, you played the games for a reason, and I don't want to say that I don't think the Shire Wolves deserve it, because at the end of the day, I think they did beat the only team that really does matter, Team Action.
yeah, and barely in that matter.
And barely,
If it
and
wasn't
barely.
for like a controversial call, but that's a discussion for another day. Um, yeah, I mean, both. I guess you could say that both teams kind of had it easy. World's Finest, they went against uh, the Kingsmen, which again, we love the team. We love those guys, the fake British accents and the real accent. Those suave gentlemen. And then
They're both
Team
British. What are you
Chat
talking about?
was the second one. So yeah, I kind of agree with you guys about the rankings. I would have liked to see critically acclaimed or one of those teams have had a chance to face the Sharewolves, and I think a lot of fans probably would have enjoyed that a little bit more. And
Yeah.
it did kind of seem that it kind of fell short of, the excitement of that number one contending matchup because it felt basically a one-sided affair. But
And really,
uh,
the team division right now is fairly weak, right? Like one of the things I'm really enjoying about Anarchy is the possibility of putting together some competitive teams that maybe not all of them stay together after the tournament, but maybe some of them do, right?
Yep. And I guess that brings us to another point, um, Emma kind of brought something up, that she kind of feels discouraged. MFI felt a little discouraged and had to take a break off the page in Facebook for some comments that maybe or may have not been kind of like um, misconstrued. I personally think that sometimes we focus more on the negative of the comments and we're not focusing that a lot of the people on the page like the Shire Wolves. They love Rachel. They respect them as competitors, whether we are fans of them or not, kind of thing. It depends. But yeah, also, again, we don't like getting like teams shoved down our throats, and I think that's like where the marketing went wrong. Before they were even a team, they were selling shirts and making it seem like this is just like a let's cash in on the whole let the women be your females empowerment kind of thing. Which I don't. I
So,
I'd rather see someone like who has been around working hard, like Brienne and
Stacy.
Stacy, like 6 degrees, and we know we're bringing. And so I think it's just only perfect that Brienne cashed in her as expected. So, who do you think would be a good partner? Do you think we'll see a reunion of Team 6 Degrees? Personally, I would love to see. I would probably love to see Stacy. I know that it probably doesn't work with the storyline, but it would be
Yeah,
such like
maybe.
it'd be such like a relief to see like
Definitely,
her be Clark twice, but with Stacy by her
I,
side.
I definitely think Stacey is one of the more underappreciated competitors in the league, and it would be nice to see her get a title shot. But something that we were discussing privately earlier that might be nice is if she picks Drew McWhinney to be her partner, and Drew gets an instant shot at getting his belt back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. I think Drew should have gotten to pick us. Like, even if it's Brienne and she picks Drew, like, Drew should automatically get a chance to get his belt back. I never agreed with like above the line being champions, but even if it was the Patriots, if one of them retired or whatever, the other one should get like an automatic chance to like pick another partner and get their belt back.
yeah, and I mean it makes sense. Like kind of like he needs a new partner now that Sam's gone and she doesn't have one. Um, I mean, another one that we like, they probably could people have been throwing out is Kalinowski, but I don't know if Putin's actually going to be her partner. I know that they showed the little storyline about them getting in the car last year,
No.
but I don't think that went anywhere. And now that he's focused on Anarchy, I don't see him being his mystery partner. If he does, I think it would be kind of lame. And
I mean,
And what would be amusing too is if Brienne chooses Drew to be her partner, and then they beat the
I
Shire Wolves for the belt, she would not only be taking
I
the
like
belts away.
that. I guess I like to make.
oh, we lost Alexa. So Emma, did you want to
Yeah.
continue?
Oh, I was just saying, um, if if Brienne picks Drew to be a partner and they beat the Shire Wolves, not only are they taking the belts away from the Shire Wolves, Brienne is taking Floyd's partner away from her in entertainment.
Yeah. Alex, did you want to add in what you were saying before?
Oh, I would love that just because I don't like Clark.
But don't you
Oh
technically have to have?
yeah, for Bran, but I like the whole storyline of him getting like unknown as a partner for him. Technically, what? Danny.
Yeah.
Well, I actually think Mr. Tarnowski lucked out a bit with who he got as a partner. I know a thing or two about Mr. Chance Ellison, and I think he will be very intimidating.
Yeah, Chance. I mean, he's some of that we'll be talking about later, I'm sure. Yeah, so you guys want to talk anything else about the actual match, or should we go on to break? Any final thoughts on Shire Wolves and World's Finest at all?
The only thing I can think of in the second round, a question came up. In Batman 1989, what did Grissom tell Jack
We
to
should go
remember to
on a
bring with
break.
him? And World's Finest
No.
missed on that question? I don't know how you can call yourself a comic book movie fan and not know the answer to that question.
Mm-hmm. That was yeah, it was another question that you'd be like, oh, I'm pretty sure that it's a basic knowledge that you should know coming
Yeah,
into the match.
yeah. I was thinking to myself, why couldn't I done that question in my audition? Like that. But yeah, so I was a little disappointed in them for that, but I think they put up a good fight anyway.
Yep. So I guess that pretty much kind of goes through our recaps right now.
When you made it, won't you tell me what to do? Cause I'm playing it all wrong. When you made it, won't you tell me what to do? Cause I'm playing it all wrong.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the in-between segment. This is a transition for you and all the wonderful listeners of the show.
Some people might even call this a commercial. So since it's a commercial, we're going to promote a couple things that you should check out. Check out patreon.com/teamaction, as well as Wednesdays.
You can find us on the Action Movie Anatomy official show on the Popcorn Talk Network. Do you feel we're being serene? We certainly do.
Also, we're going to kick the shit out of every other Schmodown team in the entire league. Oh, here comes the next segment. See you in a minute.
Roka's a choker.
Bye.
You can't fight the friction, so you can't take the pressure, so I start them too strong. You can't fight the friction, so ease it off.
Hey, what's up, asshole? This is Danny from Call to Action, bringing you another episode. Today we have
Helene.
And Danielle.
and today we're going to talk about a couple of the matches today. The first one we're going to talk about is Rachel Cushing and Mara.
Yeah.
Danielle, do you want to start off?
Yeah, this was a very interesting match.
and very fun and very not fun. I did not mean to say fun. Um, it was a really really good game of trivia. Bottom line, those ladies duked it out. They put their heart and soul into that match, and it was very obvious because they were both very, very obviously sick and hurt during that match. So that was a little hard to watch for sure, but man, what a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it was very painful to watch. As you said, they were obviously like not feeling well. And yeah, I don't know. I felt so bad for them that like it seemed like they had to play, which I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure they chose or like said they were okay to play. I hope so at least.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if they felt sick, I mean, like Mara's humor was still great. I really like her personality.
I do too. I think she's got this fun sort of dry humor. When during the pregame interview, she said this little thing that there's a Costco over there and a Target over here.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, I can totally relate. Let's go
I
to
totally
Target.
relate. I brought out the little step stool because suffering from being fence
Vertically
and
challenged.
vertically challenged. Yes,
Yeah.
so that was pretty funny. I always liked her little
Yeah.
like the last time she brought the cutout of Zac Efron, and then this one was like the little step stool.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
I
I
also
wonder how
I
tall
have
she
to,
is.
Yeah.
yeah, I have to agree with you guys. Like, I in terms of like just will and determination, this was a really good match. But just watching two people like in pain or apparently was coming back from a car accident,
Yeah.
and Rachel was like basically like so sick, like near the end, and having them like wanting to like do a triple threat just to like get it over with. Like it was hard to watch. But
Yeah, definitely.
the ending was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I don't think that Rachel threw the match though. I know that there are some talk about that, but I definitely don't think that Rachel Cushing is the type of competitor to throw a match at all, no matter how
Yeah.
bad she's feeling. And I definitely do not think that she threw that match. And just when you have to get down to that last round like that, it really just it's a matter of chance, I feel like, because it just so you can look at both of those competitors, they're both amazing, and it just got to a question that she just didn't know. And I know that she was feeling very much under the weather, but I do not think that Rachel Cushing threw that match at all. I think
Yeah.
she played her heart out.
Definitely. It was easy to see that both of them did. And yeah.
But I think that if we can get them like at their full strength, that would be a fun rematch to have.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess like what people were like saying where she threw the match is I guess because they thought that her question was like an easy question because it had to do with the Watchmen. So, but I didn't. I honestly like easy or anything. I think she just and she's been known to struggle with comic book movies, so I didn't think like she threw the match away.
Yeah.
Like, even though this is a great match trivia-wise, like what makes the Schmodown fun for me is like the personalities and the show and the characters that the people play. So, like, for example, Mike's match, which we're going to talk about later, I would rather watch that one again instead of this one. because like even though they played very good games, they were so clearly ill that it's just painful for me to watch.
Yes. Absolutely. And it was so hard to watch them both get the question right and both of them get the question wrong
Yeah.
over and over again. I think it happened at least 4 times, I think.
Hmm.
And that because every time that happened, you could just see the pain in their eyes
Yeah.
that they still had to keep going. And they did.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then even the questions that they got wrong, some of them they answered the exact same answer.
Yeah.
And that was really funny to see too. So do you think that Mara would be a good match for the Five Club?
No.
No.
No, I don't either.
Five Club, please.
Emma said a little offhand thing in one of the interviews that she likes Mara so much that she's even thinking about inviting her to be a part of that faction, that she's thinking about inviting her to be a part of that faction. And I like Mara as a solo competitor like that.
Hmm.
I do like the manager aspects of it, of the league. Sometimes it's fun. Other times I don't think it works out very well depending on who the person is. But I think that Mara's personality would just kind of work well on her own. Just like I think Dan Murrell's personality worked well on his own when he was competing in the league before he retired. Like being a part of the Lions Den
Yeah.
felt so awkward and just not something that he wanted to do or anything like that. And even with him being in the Five Horsemen, I'm excited to kind of see how that pans out. But I think both of those people are people who work better alone and not necessarily in factions like that.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
because I know Brienne was talking about how she wanted to start her own faction.
She did?
When she announced that she was going to get a new teammate,
Oh,
she
okay.
said that she was going to bring on her own new faction. So,
Mhm.
but I also think that like Amara's humor and like her own personality, I think it's just best to let her do her own thing and kind of just be like that sweet little oddball kind of the Shimodian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what people are like her, like endearing
Yeah.
qualities, because she's kind of just like out there calling herself the Brown Dwarf Star and stuff.
Yeah, I like that
So,
a lot. I think it's
and
funny.
yeah, I guess what you're saying about like how Dan was like he was supposed to be like a bad guy kind of thing, but like he's not that kind of character. Like his personality is just to like do trivia.
Yeah.
So him even now like teaming with Roka, like I just kind of like This is just kind of like all the old people trying to like team up to win a championship. It's like when the Lakers. It's like when Karl Malone and Gary Payton joined the Lakers, or when Steve Nash tried to join the Lakers, and it just fell apart.
Oh man, Steve Nash.
Great player,
Man,
but
I am a Mavericks fan. So the
so that must
last
have hurt.
Yeah, the last question, I have the match on silent right now, and the last question from the Iron Man match was who said there's only one God, ma'am, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that. And the answer was Steve Rogers, Captain America.
No,
And
it wasn't Steve Trevor.
uh
What?
hold on,
No,
I'm pretty
Steve
No,
sure.
no,
Rogers.
right.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, Captain America.
Well,
And then
Yeah,
part.
because that was what
Rachel
Mara
wrote
put
down
down.
and Rachel wrote down Superman.
Yeah. Right.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I can see how people can see that was sort of a gimme question. I got it right, and I honestly did not see whatever movie that was. The way that I had heard that quote before, and just the way that it sounded like it just kind of rolled off as like a Captain America thing to say. So I took a guess, and I guessed Captain America.
Mhm.
And that was my answer to that. So I guess I can see how people can say that. But I mean, when you're
Mhm.
sick like that,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, I couldn't even tie my shoes if I was sick like that.
Mhm.
Oh no,
So
just stick me in bed.
yeah,
Stick me in bed with some chicken noodle soup.
yeah. But still, I definitely still don't think that she threw that match at all. It was just a rough thing to watch, man.
Yeah.
All right, so in theory, if you think if both of them were at 100% health, do you think the outcome would be the same? I think Rachel would have
Yes.
won.
Yeah.
I think Mara would still win. I
Mara would
think
have still won.
yeah, I do personally. I think so. I like Rachel Cushing, and I think she is definitely top top 5 competitors in the league, no doubt about it. But I do think that it would have gone down to sudden death, and I think that the match would have just basically been the same. Only they would have been more upbeat, and it would have come down to one single weird question that Mara would have gotten over Rachel. I honestly feel like that match would end up the exact same way, even
Yeah.
if they were 100%.
Yeah, because like Rachel's just history of being like in like championship matches or like matches that are like when it matters. Like I think her nerves get the best of her, and like we
Mhm.
don't see her like even when she's like she can get advanced to like a championship round or a number one contender easily, but when it comes to like the huge matches, like I think like her nerves or she just overthinks her because of she gets like into her own personality and
Yeah.
brings it into the competition.
Yeah. I
So
think
I
she's
think
getting
she's
better at it.
yeah she's improving, but like I still think like I just like I could like if she went made it to the final seconds Inman like I don't think because even when it was like against Action and the Wolves, like it was Clark that was kind of like carry against Team Action when they spun
Mhm.
horror and stuff, and Rachel was kind of fumbling across because like she was nervous thing to like put against her or anything, but I just think that
Yeah, I couldn't imagine
over
having to do.
she probably just overthinks, you know,
Yeah.
that's overwhelming for her.
I
Yeah.
definitely think that she's getting better at it. I think it was very obvious that that was what would get to her in the beginning. Like when she played, you could easily tell that she was just getting flustered in her mind. But after watching I went and I rewatched the Shire Wolves and World's Finest match, and she's wearing sunglasses in that match. And the round two, her composure in round two was fucking solid, man. And I give her major props for that. And I think she's definitely getting better, but I still really do agree that her nerves, especially in live matches like that, which is totally understandable because you're in front of a bunch of people that are yelling out, that not probably not yelling out, but like a bunch of people in front of you and it's alive. So it's even more intimidating. But I do think that her nerves do play a factor in her game.
Yeah. And I feel like it doesn't help for her that she doesn't really have a separate Schmodown personality. Like
Mm-hmm.
she
Mm-hmm.
clearly plays as herself. So when anyone criticizes what she does in the game, she will automatically take that personally when it's not really intended to be that way.
Yeah. I think that she's trying to, and this is going to sound mean, but I think that she's trying to be tougher than she is.
Yeah.
Um, I think that that's the personality that she's trying to go for. I mean, they called her the Crusher, and she's got to come out there with a dominating personality and
Yeah.
all of that stuff. And from just from watching her and following her on social media and stuff like that, I don't think that that's just her natural personality.
Hmm.
I think she's a little bit more passive, is kind of how it comes off a little bit.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't feel like she's blending those or trying to separate those personalities. Not, I don't think that
Hmm.
you should blend that at all.
Yeah. Exactly. Like it's so much easier for people to criticize Andrew Guy, for example, because his personality is so different on stage than it is IRL. Like, there's a clear difference between how he acts in the matches and how he behaves in the fan groups and such. Like, he's honestly the most loving person.
He's so nice. He's such a nice dude.
He's so kind
Yes.
and amazing. Yeah.
Oh, we all came to Action for a guy, and we stayed for Bateman.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So it's much easier for people to criticize him than her because she is kind of herself. I mean, in a different way, but she's still like herself.
And that's got to be hard to take, man.
Yeah.
Ugh, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
And that's got to be why that's also got to be something that's easier for people who do put up a personality in the Schmodown because they can just write it off, like you said, just as it's just a character that's in a game.
Yeah. And people are just passionate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in general, like playing a heel character is a lot easier than being a face. Because like you can go kind of over the top with a heel character, and people like accept it. Oh, they're just supposed to be kind of like bad guys and stuff like that. But like with faces, like you have to like I don't know. It just I always find those characters you have to be more convincing and stuff in your roles.
Yeah.
So
especially if you're gonna turn like I feel like the Shire Wolves and the Fife Club are trying to be, heels in a sort of way.
Really?
I don't know. It just comes off that sort of way with Emma. Like Emma just seems so aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Emma's a heel.
And I don't understand. Like it makes me confused for the Shire Wolves. Like, is that how they're supposed to come off, or is that like are they supposed to be going towards heels? Are they trying to make a heel turn? Like, what's going on? Or am I supposed to think that these are, the good guys and stuff like that? But Emma doesn't make me feel like they're good guys.
Yeah. And also when people like yeah, sure, go on.
Yeah, like Emma and Clark kind of like they're bringing out like heel tendencies. Like the Clark will be like kind of like snotty and like a little bit like when she's like kind of like brushing off Brienne and saying like, oh, like good luck with that, like never gonna lose kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Emma's like, no other team in the league except for above the line that could beat us, and now that they're gone, like they might as well just give us the belts.
Yeah.
And she like always talks about it's like her team, like selfish, and then they like freak out like if you say anything about like being cocky.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to be called confident like women. So
yeah, and that also makes it worse when Rachel kind of is herself, because when people say that, oh, you're going heel, she takes that personally and as sort of an insult when really it's not.
Right.
Yeah, because she doesn't realize that it's just a game.
Yeah.
And like we understand like if there's people that these aren't the people in real life. So if we're saying that you're a heel, we don't think that you're like an actual bad person.
Yeah, exactly.
But when she thinks like if there's a negative comment about her play that she's turning into like a heel, she thinks that means like thinking that she's a bad person or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's like why the Charlotte Wolves is like a really like they like the two of them individually are good players and stuff, but like them as a team, it's not fun for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Definitely.
So moving on, we have another matchup. We had Kalinowski against Adam.
Yeah.
Helene, did you want to start off about your thoughts?
Sure. I liked it, I guess. It still kind of does surprise me how Mike is doing so well. But I mean, it's cool. I really like or enjoy his new personality. The
Yeah,
whole
I do too.
corruption thing is really. I mean, it's new, it's fresh, it's interesting. I I really can't wait to see his next match.
Yeah, I think I really like what Kalinowski is doing, and shout out to Danny for. I didn't know that the post was up. I was at work, and then Danny sent me a message, and he was like, "Have you watched the match yet?" I said, "No," and I went to go see it. And the bonus question, because Mike got all of his questions right, and he got to go to the bonus question, and the bonus question was who played Tank Girl. So
Yep.
shout out to that. That was a lot of fun to see. I
Finally
like to
got
think.
Tank Girl is canon.
Thank you. I like to think that Mike Kalinowski knew that answer because he listens to our podcast. So
Yeah.
you're welcome, Mike. Yes. I think he's doing really well, and I like what he's doing. I think that he's doing the Schmodown right by putting on such a performance. I think he's doing a great job. We all can't deny that they're performing and they're acting and they're putting on a show, and it's wonderful and it's great. And
Yeah.
I think that Mike is probably doing the best job at it. I liked what Ken did when he did his little heel turn, but I love what Mike is doing with like really, really messing with the infrastructure of the Schmodown and turning this whole anarchy thing. And it's been fun, really fun to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably been one of the most refreshing things to see in the Schmodown. For a long time, I felt like a lot of what was going on was really stale, and I didn't understand some of the behind the scene quick quips that they were doing sometimes, and it just felt weird and out of place. But everything that's been going on with the Kalinowski stuff has really, really worked. And I think he's doing, I think because he's doing such a great job in Inner Geekdom, like you said, like y'all said, like he's doing good in Inner Geekdom, but he doesn't do so well in the overall movie trivia. I think it's because he's got a category that he can study, and there's a specific set of movies that he can study. And I think that he's really focusing on this, and he's really trying to be better. And you can definitely see it in his matches that he's putting everything into it, and he's actually, it looks like he's actually studying and playing the game and doing what he needs to do. And you see him when he competes, like you see Mike Kalinowski, you don't see this big flamboyant personality that he puts on all the time, but he does let it happen. But ultimately when he's competing, he's focused and he's into it, and I am not surprised at all at how well he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still think that Jason Edmund is gonna keep his belt.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think this is my favorite storyline that by far, because basically everything that kind of paid off from him being kind of like once like a darling face, and then like he started losing, and then kind of like everybody kind of just like turned his back on him, and it was like very real. I guess like it made sense like for him to become like a anti-hero or like a heel character kind of thing. Um, but the match in itself, I personally actually like this match better than the Mara Rachel one,
Mhm.
just because I thought Adam had such a horrible first round that I basically thought that Mike was gonna get a third knockout, and having him kind of like climb his way and make it to the third round and getting all the, I think that shows that Adam is a pretty good Adam Lavick. So a talented player in the inner geekdom. And if he wasn't going against Mike, who has just been on a hot streak and stuff, it could have been a different story.
Yeah, that first round was pretty brutal to watch. It was a really big bummer because I enjoy Adam also. I think he's really smart, and I think you're absolutely right. Anyone else, I think he could have taken him on, and that first round just set him back a little bit. But to watch him come back was awesome.
I think at the end of the first round, it was 11-3 or something, and
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. I was like, at first, I didn't think he was going to get a single question right in round one, the way it was looking, and I was like, oh, be like, he gets to the second round and just loses. Like is this going to be the worst like lopsided win of all time? That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. And then he got his DCEU. He kind of like made it into a game. So props to him. But yeah, I from the beginning of the tournament, I posted on Twitter that I wanted like more Mike. So I'm happy about
Yeah, same. I think that's going to be a pretty fun match. I would like to see the banter between Mara and Mike.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be fun to watch.
I wonder if it was like just destiny that Mike and Mara made it through and had that clip at the start, or if they did film that before. I mean, after they knew.
That's very funny.
Yeah. I mean, after her first match, it was like obvious that she was good.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
they might have just taken a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there anything else to say, really?
Hmm.
Do you want to eat something?
Oh, I was looking at the beginning stats, like when they talk about their strengths and stuff. And Mike Kalinowski had put in his strengths Harry Potter, and I thought that was very funny. He did very well in his last round with Harry Potter, and I thought that was really funny that he put Harry Potter in his strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then in the against it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to talk about the Anarchy team?
Yeah. Should we do a break first, or should we just keep on going?
What do you think, Danny?
Yeah. What I was gonna say was that I liked one last thing about it. I was said that I like the idea of like I thought it would have been perfect if he kind of just trolled with us because he got Harry Potter the first spin and then got Spinner's Choice, and I would have liked to have him just go with the Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
But
Yeah. Every day.
Mark Kalinowski
just because it
would
feels like
have-
something he would do.
Yeah, he would have elevated to my number one favorite player if he pulled that move. That's really funny to think about. I would have liked to have seen him do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we have so I guess Fike and Mara. Do you have if it's gonna just win, or is it do you think Mara's gonna take it?
My prediction is that Mike Kalinowski will win by 2 points.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's going to go all the way down to question 3 for the both of them.
Mm.
And Mike will pull it out. Mike will pull it out. That's what she said.
I honestly agree. Like, if you asked me a few weeks ago, I would say Mara, but no, I also think Mike will pull through. Yeah.
Yeah, just because I've just seen like more consistency. I think experience eventually it's gonna carry him through. But then again, we said the same thing about Rachel, so you never know.
Yeah.
But I think that Mike has like a mission on in a mission, like, as opposed to Mara is there because Target isn't open, so she has to come over and play for a couple hours. I think Mike wants to take this and prove that and go against Jason in the live show. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot
And
more
then with
focused.
that, we're gonna.
Yeah.
So with that, I guess we're going to take our quick break, and then when we come back, we're gonna discuss some of the Anarchy teams, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, and we're back now, and we're going to talk, instead of a variety segment, we're going to talk about Anarchy. We're going to talk about a couple of our teams that we want to look out for, and just our overall thoughts. So, who would like to go first?
I'll go first. This is Danielle, by the way. Hi, everyone. So, this is my dream team. I can't believe that this team got paired up together, and from the sound of it, from the crowd reactions, it sounded like it was not planned, and it's Jeff Snyder and Mark Andreyko. And when I heard Jeff Snyder scream out from the crowd, I did the exact same thing. I screamed as soon as I heard that it was them two together, because I think this team is going to dominate. I think they're going to win the whole thing. I really do. I like them as competitors individually. I like them as personalities. I really like to watch Jeff Snyder and his take on movies. I think he's got sort of an edgier place, and my heart melts for Mark Andreyko. I've been a fan of Mark Andreyko since day one, and I'm really excited to see this team compete together. I think they're going to do great.
Yeah.
They have a manager, or they're by themselves? Do you know?
I don't know. I didn't write that down. I wrote down the team names, but I didn't write down any manager names.
Well, Roxy. Roxy's their
Roxy.
manager, so that's going to be
Interesting.
Interesting. Interesting.
I think my favorite team, besides Andrew and Rachel or McQueenie, if that happens, but one team that I really am looking forward to is Riley and Bateman, especially because their manager is Tom Dagnino.
For sure.
It's like, it's such a weird mix that I can't wait.
I think it's gonna work.
Yeah. Like, Tom Dagnino is obviously the best manager. No questions asked. Riley's turning. I mean, he's gonna fight against Andrew before that, but still. And with Bateman, who's great, we love him. So it's such a new, weird mix that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, and that's a team that's for sure going to be in there. I don't think that the teams are going to merge. Like, if Clark Wolf and Rachel Cushing win in the Shire Wolves match, I don't think that they're merging Drew and Andrew together.
Really? Do you think they'll just, like, cut out their teams?
I think that's what's going on. I'm not 100% on that, but I feel like I heard that they were not going to get merged together as teams.
If they are, we'll riot, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if we don't get Andrew in this tournament,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's gonna
if
be
it's
a huge
scheduling,
bummer.
I mean, I understand. But if it's because of that,
Yeah. Is there a match in the first round that you're looking forward to?
Let's see. I have to look at them again. I mean, Kalinowski and Ellison versus Guy and Cushing is definitely one of them. Because, I mean, I don't know this Ellison guy, but apparently he's really good at trivia. So that will be interesting.
That's the word on the
He's
bond.
basically better than Dan Murrell apparently. Like he's basically has never lost a match like online in like
Wow.
every kind of trivia. Like he does wrestling, he does TV.
Mhm.
He beat me in the music trivia. That's a tournament. So yeah, he knows his stuff.
And also
So
one match that's like kind of not talked about, like the team, especially Irvin and Janine the Machine, and like
Yes.
their match versus Duralde and Actually, two very good competitors. That's gonna be very tough to see. Well, like it's gonna be difficult for both of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Janine and Ethan is definitely the dark horse. One of the teams I'm excited to see. And Jay is still going to be their manager, so we'll still have the Viper squad kind of.
Yeah,
And
right.
I just can't wait to see Ethan. I can't wait to see Ethan kind of like be a little bit more fun. Like I'm sure like Janine will make him like
That's what I was just about
come
to
out to like a
ask.
cool entrance and stuff.
Yes, I can't wait to see
So
that.
and we're also looking the two finalists of Rookie of the Year,
Oh yeah,
or like
definitely.
or in the top three at least.
Yeah.
So definitely like you see the young talent. And the other team that I can't wait to see is just Lon and JTE, like the professor versus like the notorious bad speller in the Schmugam. So
Yeah,
I just
that's the
can't wait
match
for
I'm
him
looking
to
forward
like,
to the most.
yeah, I just can't wait to see JTE like misspell something and have Lon like give him like extra homework or something or put him in detention.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious. And that's just gonna be a fun match either way because they're going against the Wild Berries. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be
With
fun.
Ricky as the
Yeah,
manager. So it's an
yeah,
ETC reunion.
yes. Oh my goodness! But big shout out to Janine the Machine because I think she's gonna do awesome. She's got a great teammate, and I think they're gonna do pretty well and go pretty far in the tournament. Really.
Yeah.
And she just has been like such a great addition to the league with
Mhm.
her energy and just her like her passion
Mm-hmm.
is and it's always nice to see Action Army, even though she's in the Viper squad
Woo!
now. But we know that at heart she's always team action. So
Oh yeah, she's got the sunglasses on.
Definitely.
hmm
Yeah.
and the swag.
Yes. Yes. I need to see more pictures of her dog with those sunglasses on, though, please. And thank
Yes.
you, Janine.
All right,
Mhm.
and also I was thinking like, um, I would love like if Cal the Schmo dog would be like, and Ben's like mascots or like have them like come out like with them
Yes.
because apparently Ben did steal Cal, so maybe he did. Maybe they
Allegedly.
were recruiting each other.
Allegedly. Yeah.
I think he was just recruiting. They knew ahead of time they were going to the best team, so probably had buckets as well.
Yep.
Like let's think for a minute. If he was the steel cow, why would he put him in his car? Right?
Yeah. So obvious.
That's stupid. And I mean, Ben is smart. We know this.
so smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, wandering out alone and like scared, and so he like a nice thing.
Yeah.
The car
Yeah.
is safe,
Exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
so he rolled down the
Cal-
windows, of course. So
Yeah. The window was all the
I'd
way
say that
rolled
he
down,
was doing
and Cal
anything
looked happy. I'm sure the
terrible.
AC was on too.
He was smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
It is kind of funny though that they were paired together. I don't know if that was random or not, but it's still funny.
That is funny. Oh man, good stuff.
And another team that I was thinking is going to be another interesting team is Haley's team and Zipper.
Yeah.
Like we've seen Haley as part of the Scream Queens and like in Free Fall, and I think that she's a pretty good, solid player that isn't talked a lot. I guess like he has been in the world's finest. He played for a championship, and he played in Intergeekdom. So I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people, but because they're maybe not like household names or they're really not really that popular because of their characters, like a lot of people are kind of overlooking them. That's another team I would keep my eye on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
And
Bibs and Nose is
so,
such a weird combination.
oh yeah, with Emma as the manager,
Right.
so she's gonna have her hands tied.
Yeah.
She's gonna have the two biggest, like she's gonna have like wild Bibs and like trash talking Nose.
Pizza Nose.
That's so.
Oh no, I really want pizza.
Yeah. I always think of pizza when I think of Nose.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
Some pineapple pizza.
Yes.
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 Pineapple on the side of pizza. Yes.
On the side. Okay. We can accept that.
Okay.
What I will miss though is Bibs and Whitney together because I really like their chemistry and humor.
Same.
So that will be a bit sad. But I mean, hopefully they'll be back together next year.
Mm-hmm. So, are any of these teams you think might become permanent after Anarchy? Do you think? Because they said there is a possibility that some of the teams may stick, and they will become a team. Like obviously, Action is never going to break up. But
I mean,
do you think like
wild
a team?
berries.
Well, we have the Wild Berries.
Yeah.
But,
I would really like to see Stacy compete more. I just want to see Stacy Howard all the time. Like, I wouldn't be mad
More
at any
sassy,
attention,
better.
given to Stacy. So I think it would be interesting to see Stacy and Winston as a team together. I think it's just going to be really fun to watch them together in general, and I can't wait to see them compete against Roca and Merle. It's going to be exciting. I think. I think Stacy is an underrated player. I really do. And I think that if she gets more time in the league, she can really become a powerhouse in it. She's already doing so well so far. And I think that it would be fun to see her in the teams because it would give her a chance to compete more. And I just want to see her more. So I hope they stay a team, or she gets another teammate soon and competes in teams soon.
yeah. I mean, now with the Patriots broken up, maybe I don't know about Schneider and Draco, but I could see JT maybe somehow sticking with one. But also like then Snyder he created his own new thing, didn't he? With Danica and Ken. Or am I remembering it wrong?
Say that again.
Did Snyder create his like a new faction with Danica and Ken?
Donica.
Yeah, did he?
Donica,
Did he?
The Night Ken.
I can't pronounce the names.
Did
Yeah.
he go with Ken? I can't
Apparently,
remember
like
that.
the only people that left was like JT and JT stayed with Dagnina. So I guess as of now, it's assumed that Snyder is part of the Knights of Ken.
The Knights of Ken.
Right,
Good,
right.
because I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that. I would
And there
like
has
to
been
see
there
that.
has been a Facebook page named he turned heel. So shout out to that group for speaking it into existence.
There's a page for
Knights of Ken.
They may have been in cahoots with future Bibiani and knew ahead of us. So I guess in closing, the first matchup is going to be at the live event. So it's going to be Merle and Roca versus Stacy and Winston. Do you have any thoughts? Do you think there's any possibility that we're going to see an upset and have like a bunch of hard-earned fans come in there and get a surprise?
I think the Facebook page would explode if Stacy and Winston won. Like, I think it would just self-destruct.
I think like we would have like so many like fans just like either like yeah they would combust or they would just like pass out.
Yeah. I would love to see those reaction videos.
Hmm.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, people were crying when Andrew Guy beat when Guy beat Merle. They're like fans like crying. Imagine if their hero and Lord and Savior Dan
I mean,
Merle
I
And
is being
cried.
yeah.
I cried
live in
tears
front
of
of their very
happiness.
eyes.
Oh, man. One can only dream.
Yeah, one thing that
Roka doesn't understand the rules, so I mean,
I feel like there's always a chance for upset, and I think that overhyping people is like kind of useless because there's such a big element of luck in like which questions you get, which category you spin, and the round 3 categories and such. So, I mean, I get that obviously there are players who have better track records, but still, it's like luck is such a big factor that I feel like crying when Merle lost. I feel like
mhm.
it wasn't. Of course, it was a big upset, but still, it wasn't just like. I mean, the world is not ending. It's not that crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when people are considering him like the greatest player of all time, like a lot of people like being fanboys, so they saw like they're like basically get knocked out. They're just like probably shocked, but I
Yeah.
mean he hadn't played in over a year, so
Yeah. Is that
he
really?
didn't take. So I mean now he learned his lesson that he lost to Andrew twice already. So
Right.
I guess he's
He
never
did.
going to like. Now he knows that like okay, better not mess with Team Action.
That's right.
The Action Army fans. I mean,
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah. Is the thing with like, oh, I've been away for a year. Do you think that really makes a difference?
No.
No, it definitely doesn't. It's just like
No.
maybe they're not in the right mindset or whatever, but still, like,
mhm.
yeah,
I think it was
Like
very, very obvious that Drew got under his skin.
yeah,
And I think that that was the element of the Schmodown that Dan was unprepared for because it really had changed a lot theatrically since he had been in there. And big personalities. Andrew Guy is arguably one of, if not the biggest personality, heel personality inside of the Schmodown. That dude
definitely.
just talks shit. And it like it's easy for him to get under people's skin, and we've seen them do it. We've seen Team Action do it over and over again with each of their competitors, and we saw him do it with Dan Merle. And I think that that was the only thing that caught Dan Merle off guard, that could catch Dan Merle off guard. But movie trivia and the knowledge, I think a lot of people were just kind of saying that Andrew was a gimme, and maybe he didn't study as much as he should have, and maybe he thought that his own category, like knowledge, is going to take him into beating Andrew Guy, who hadn't really performed very well as a solo player. Sometimes people thought that he was not that good of a solo player, that Ben was carrying the team and stuff like that too. So that's the only thing that I can see that caught off guard. But I think being a year away from the league is not the best excuse.
yep. So lesson learned. Don't fall because
Yeah.
we prove time and time again that we people like underestimate us. They underestimate us the first time against top 10. We beat their ass the first time. The second time we didn't even care. So that did. So
I
like
don't
why did we
understand
even
why
have to
people
play
don't
those guys?
take Team
Why did
Action
we
so
even have to play
seriously.
those guys? Yeah, I don't understand why you have to play those old guys again.
Yeah.
But whatever. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
those
because
poor
we're good
dudes.
to have the belts anyway. So lesson learned. National Army. Never underestimate Andrew and Ben
Mm-hmm.
because
Also,
it's
when they beat Roka and Riley, and apparently they're playing against each other, and no,
No.
no, I really do hope that they'll like be the first ones to like protest and not do it, like
I
go
bet
on a
they
strike
would
or
too.
something.
Yeah. Or just totally throw it.
Yeah, and just like not answer any questions and just
And
sit
just go
there.
out there and just sit there with each other and just take like shots of scotch or just anything
Yeah.
and just have it there and just drinking with their
Sub in
glasses
Alex.
on, not answering.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Alex, come on the show, Alex.
Alex.
Have him on as a guest. That would be great. Yeah.
All right, so I guess that covers basically our coverage of the Anarchy teams. So, would you guys like to tell you can find them?
Yeah, you can go ahead and find me on Twitter. It's at Danny Joy, DANIEEJOY.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as well. It's Hella underscore KO. Ironically. AGLLA underscore KO.
And you can always find me tweeting about XRB and random shit at DKPKP. That's DKPKP on Twitter.
And you can find us all
Also,
on the
this
Action Movie Anatomy fan page and the Team Action Army fan page.
Yes.
and you can follow Andrew at Andrew Guy, Ben at Ben Bateman Media, as well as if you tune out Wednesday, we're going to talk about the Meg big
Yeah.
summer shark movie.
Yes.
You guys want to definitely tune in and check that out.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Yep. Bye, guys. Where's the bell?
Bye.
Bye.